Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. We're live from the HCCTV studios this morning. I'm Todd Duplantis, and it's good to have you with us. It is #Finally Friday. We've got a jam-packed show and a lot to get on with. Of course, Randy Ramsey is my co-host this morning. Randy, one more day, then we're on holiday for a whole week for Thanksgiving.
Very exciting. My students were already checked out last night while I was teaching. I don't know that they got anything. But I will be spending 4 days of it in a tent at turkey camp with my scouts. So,
wow.
I know.
Wow. Have you
That's a
seen
mom commitment.
Project?
Yeah, it's just, I'm less worried about the ghosts than the cold. It's going to be 38 degrees overnight.
Well, that should be interesting. At least you've got some plans for this holiday. Are you going to be back in town for Thanksgiving itself?
I am, and I'm actually hosting some of my students who don't have any place to go. So,
that's wonderful.
It should be a good day. Family, friends, food, fun.
Why not? Hey,
yeah.
All right. We've got a lot going on today, Randy. Of course, we want to thank everyone joining us on this Friday morning on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're here just about every day while HCC is in session. Next week, we won't be here. We're off all week next week, as Randy just mentioned.
Right.
She'll be camping. The rest of us will be probably eating, but she'll be camping. So, Randy, they can also catch us in social media anytime, but on HCC TV as well.
That's right. And we are on Facebook, Twitter, and our Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC because there's too many, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and at HCC TV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
All right. So stick around because you're going to be spotlighting this next guest. Daniel Lawson is the Wellness and Fitness Center Manager. He's with the Student Services Division. Daniel, good to see you on the show.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So we're looking forward to hearing all about the new Health and Wellness Center. So stick around. We'll be with you in a few moments.
But you, Todd, you get to interview my good friend, Michelle Mower, local director, producer.
You guys seem to know each other for a little while. Tell us about your history together.
I met Michelle back when I was in film school in LA. She was a good friend of my sister-in-law and would come and camp out at Stanny's place when she was in LA early in her career. So it's been a while.
It's been a while. All right, Michelle Mower, welcome to the show. Good to see you on here. Great to have you with us.
Well, thank you for re-inviting me.
Yeah.
After last week's unfortunate, illness that I.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. We're glad to have you with us this week.
Yeah,
it gave us a head start, and our producer didn't have to find a guest for the next week. So it all worked out in the end. So that's the main thing. The last time we spoke, you'd released a film directed and executive produced called The Never List. How did that go?
Well, like many films that were released in the middle of the pandemic, it's interesting because the film, was released theatrically nationwide in 112 screens across the U.S., which was, for me as a filmmaker, I mean, that was the dream, right? That's what you always dream that someday you'll make a movie and that your friends and family and everyone will be able to go to a movie theater and watch it on the big screen. And so to that end, dream come true, bucket list check, right? Off, but of course, audiences were audiences were not totally comfortable with going to public spaces like movie theaters, and so our box office wasn't great, and but it was okay. The film got its release theatrically a few months later. It went to the digital platforms, which is where it still resides now, and so it's the film has they really reached the core audience that we were going after, young people. Our demographics tend to skew very young, and hopefully we'll see its continued success in the future.
How can people see it now? Is it available for streaming?
Yeah, it's on streaming. You can get it rented or buy it on pretty much all the platforms where you can rent and buy movies. Apple, Amazon, all of those places. I still think it's a great film. I mean, especially, the film really, I think, speaks to what a lot of people, in our have been going through with, post-COVID with grief.
Yeah.
How to deal with grief in a healthy way, in a way that you can, you can take those experiences that you had with loved ones that you've lost, and see them for the enrichment that they brought to you into your lives, and move forward, in a healthy way, in a way that those lives touched your lives and changed them,
You also have been working on something called the Preacher series. Tell us what that's all about.
Well, that series I think is done. We made three movies, Preacher related films for Lifetime. My first one was a film that we shot in 2010 here in Houston. It was my very first feature film. And a lot of people in Houston, it was almost all Houston cast and crew, with a few exceptions. But so definitely a Houston made film. And we ended up selling it to Lifetime. It was a huge success for Lifetime. They did a whole reality series spinoff called Preacher's Daughters, which I was not.
Oh, wow.
I was not involved in that production, but because I don't do reality shows. But then it also allowed me to direct two more movies for Lifetime in 2013 and 2015, called The Preacher's Mistress and The Preacher's Sin, respectively. And the cool thing about especially the last Preacher film that I did that we shot in 2015 was I shot it in Ottawa, Canada, and it gave me a chance to and it was a much bigger budget, and so it gave me a chance to really feel like, I didn't feel like a low budget filmmaker.
Yeah,
I felt like, oh, we have trailers, we have, this is a real production. It's pretty cool. So it was, unfortunately that was not the case on my most recent Lifetime movie. I went back to low budget land, but unfortunately, but it's, it was kind of nice to have that experience and to work outside of even outside of your country and see how things are done in a different country. It was pretty cool.
I want to bring Randy back in the conversation because obviously your paths crossed many years ago. What do you recall from those times when I guess you were first starting out and Randy was as well?
You're asking me or Randy?
I'm asking you first. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, so Randy and I, like she said, we met in California when she was going to Cal Arts, and then subsequently she moved to Houston. And, I worked at the time for Southwest Alternate Media Project Swamp, which Randy is now the executive director of. But back then she was looking for opportunities as a, someone who just got her master's degree in filmmaking, was looking for teaching or any kind of opportunities in the film world in Houston. Didn't really know anyone in Houston. So as the program coordinators for Swamp, I hired her to teach a workshop. And I will never forget, because we did it at Rice University over at the old Rice Media Center, and she did the whole workshop barefoot.
That was the first teaching I had ever done.
Do you still teach barefoot?
Of Cal Arts. I direct barefoot, and it was a directing for performance workshop. Yeah. And I just feel it's a weird Suzuki training thing. Like I did the whole thing. You're right. I did the whole thing barefoot, but that was the first teaching above a sort of high school level that I had ever done. Yeah. And the workshop was a big success, and actually was the reason that HCC hired me as a adjunct faculty. Yeah.
Before HCC, you were hired with Art Institute back prior to that. Yes. And so I connected.
No. I was hired by HCC 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
After that first workshop to teach production management.
That was
the first. No, I mean, it's the first, that's the first college teaching I ever did was at HCC.
Right.
which then I went on and taught at Art Institute, and then I've gone on and taught like tons of
And
workshops.
I introduced you to, because someone reached out to me and said, hey, do you know anyone who might be interested in teaching at Art Institute? And I said, I absolutely do. Here's Randy.
Trish Rigdon.
This goes to show to our students how those connections you make years ago reoccur in your life. You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, I have friends I made, 20, 25 years ago, early in my career, who I still keep in touch with. In one way or another, we were intertwined. We worked together at some point. It's all that networking just keeps you.
It's true. Randy says this was her first teaching job that she ever had. There's several filmmakers who from Houston and then also from outside of Houston that Swamp, working with Swamp, gave them their first teaching experience, such as Greg Carter. He actually predated me at Swamp, so he was teaching for Swamp before I started working there. But he came out of the Swamp program. Kat Candler, the very first workshop she ever taught, or any first film instruction she did was with Swamp. When I was working, I hired her to teach a workshop for Swamp, and she's taught many workshops over the years. And Kat's huge television director now. Like she's showrunner. She's just killing it. So she works with Ava DuVernay a lot on her shows, and they're friends and colleagues. So, so a lot of people have come through, that I worked with through my job with Swamp, that then later, when I was making my movies, came in and were part of my productions. So yeah, it was a great way to connect with people and grow. Yes.
Our holiday party's coming up soon, so come and network.
Yes.
You guys can catch up there, but we're quickly running out of time, and I want to get to this real quickly. I've got about 30 seconds left. Your pick for movie of the year, I'll give you my comments on it at the end of the show. Randy and I will go back and forth on it. But what's your pick for movie of the year, Michelle?
My favorite movie this year, I'm not going to say it's the like most highbrow movie of the year, but my absolute favorite movie that I just have watched, I've watched it like 4 times now, and I'll probably watch it two more times before the end of the year. I just love it. Is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, saw it at the theater.
Yeah.
I'll give you my comments at the end of the show. Yeah, Randy and I will go back on this.
The first time I watched it, I'm like, at the end of it, I'm like, what
happened?
Exactly. Yeah. Let's just put it this way. When they came up and said part 3, I was like, oh God, no, please let it end now. So that was just my impression, but good movie. Sure. About 2 times as long as it needed to be. That's just my opinion. But Michelle, I appreciate you being on the show. We wish you continued success. Thank you for being here, catching up with Randy. And we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Michelle.
Happy holidays, everyone.
All right, Randy. Okay, I know you're probably going to jump me at the end of the show about how bad I am talking bad about everything, everywhere, all at once.
Just bad about it. I could kill you sometimes.
I know.
Daniel, it'll have to wait until after I talk to Daniel Lawson, our Wellness and Fitness Center Manager in the Student Services Division. Welcome to the show, Daniel. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Now, tell me a little bit about you and your background.
Oh, yes, me. I'm originally from Southern California, Los Angeles, and I got my undergrad degree out in Arkansas. So I spent some time jumping around before I landed in Houston. I ended up getting my master's in kinesiology from Texas Southern, right over there in Third Ward.
Mm-hmm. I know TSU.
Oh, yeah. I graduated last year, and soon after I graduated, just like you all were speaking about those connections and those networking opportunities that you had. A couple of board members in this organization that I was a part of worked here at HCC Central Campus. And she was able to give me Miss Genevieve Stevens. She psychology head. She ended up giving me, sending me some job applications that were suitable for adjunct professor for kinesiology and this job right now, fitness center manager.
Wow. Well, we're so excited to have you here. And, we just love TSU. I know a bunch of the folks over there. So you're at the Wellness Center. So let's start with the 6 dimensions of wellness, which is that all-inclusive approach. So go ahead and hit me with them.
Yes. So our 6 dimensions of wellness is our financial, of course, our physical, which is what we focus on mainly right now this past semester. Our mental health, well as our social, the way that we communicate with one another. I believe it was our occupational, so our workspace, our worker health. We said, and then I think it was the last one was our eating health and things like that. So the 6 dimensions of wellness bring all that together so that it don't just focus on, what happens in the weight room, what it is that we're doing physically, but the whole totality of our wellness and well-being so that we can have that optimal, level of living and, be able to do things that we want to do.
So at the fitness center, though, you can help us with our physical wellness, which is super important as I'm learning because I just had my annual checkup and I didn't do as good as I should have, and I hate failing. So if I come over to the center, what amenities are you guys offering? Like if I become a member, what can I expect?
So yes, as soon as you become a member, you get access to our weight room, which is inclusive of our top of the line treadmills, our weight and cardio machines. Then we also have our basketball court, and it also doubles as a volleyball court. We have the kids set it up, and we set it up and play volleyball and everything. As well, we have our locker rooms and everything. So if after a good workout, you want to shower and stuff, we have that available for as being faculty and staff. We also have a skills class charge, of course.
Nice. So I'm sure you guys have events, special classes. So what are the plans for the upcoming semester for the spring?
Yes, we have a lot of plans for the next semester that were supposed to happen this semester, but we were doing some updates because even though we've been open for almost a year since COVID, that COVID break and, having to losing a few people within my department, it's been kind of like a one-man show, just me running it. So we have to get a few things together. For this next upcoming semester, we have some events coming up, like our All-Star series. We're going to do some basketball events, simulating like the All-Star break. We have our skills challenge, our 3-point shooting contest. We have a dunk contest. And at the finale of it, we're going to have a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We're going to crown our team and our winner. We also have some other events and some other plans where we're going to have our wellness talk. And like you mentioned, with our 6 dimensions of wellness, we're going to have those talks and not just focus on one dimension, but it's going to be the all-inclusive approach that I spoke about earlier.
Yeah, no, that sounds fun. I mean, I would lose at 3-on-3 basketball, but it sounds like fun to try. So I know it's not exactly your department, but it's sort of tangentially related. What about HCC Rec Sports?
Yes, Rec Sports, they offer to our students 6 different sports that they can get involved with. And you will have to reach out to our district Rec Sports specialist, which would be Tiffany Lane. A lot of more detail, but we have our basketball squad for both men and women. They played this past semester. They did pretty well. They made it. The women's made it to the playoffs. The men had a very good record as well. We have our volleyball, which we're still waiting on getting the proper equipment so that we can have the team practice here at the Central Campus gym. We have a baseball team, which that also, like volleyball, was on hold this past semester, but we're looking to get it back up. We have soccer, and that's held at the Stafford campus because they have an outdoor grass field, as well as flag football. That's also held at the Stafford campus with the outdoor grass field. And the last sport we have is tennis. So those are the 6 sports that we have available for all students at all the campuses. So regardless of the Southeast College, Southwest, Northline.
Wait, where are you hiding the tennis courts at A-Leaf? We don't have tennis courts. No one loves us. That's what it is.
I believe that they do their practice at Homer Field, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. I was just like, wait, is there a pool they're hiding that I don't know about? Wait a second. So we have 1 minute.
Facilities we never tell you about, Randy.
That's what it is.
Purposely don't tell you.
I was here how long before you didn't tell me about the spa? I was so bummed. Daniel, we have 30 seconds. What's the one tip for wellness that you can give somebody?
Always be open to learning. Always be open to hearing what the next person has to say, because even though you might be in a good space for yourself, you never know what the next person may be able to give you. Be open to learning.
That's good advice, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you so much for being on the show and for telling us all about the Wellness Center, which is very exciting, and also the sports, which, I love a good tennis match. Again, I'm really terrible, but it's, fun.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you for having me, and I thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks so much.
All righty.
Well, Todd, you hold out on me, in addition to having terrible taste in films.
Yeah. You don't know about the racquetball court and all that stuff we hide
No,
from you?
apparently that goes with you with the lunch with the chancellor that I don't get to go to either.
Yeah. There's a pickleball court on the top of the West Loop. You didn't know that, did you? Yeah, it's up there. Go looking for it. It's on the roof.
Thanks,
anyway.
Todd.
Okay, one thing you do want to keep in mind, Randy, is our financial aid office is closed today. HCC's financial aid department will attend a mandatory all college today meeting, and it's November 18th. So the office is closed today just before the Thanksgiving break. They will be reopening on Monday, November 28th. So please keep that in mind and show a little patience with them. They've got a big event they're doing today as well.
Well, but our IT is open Thanksgiving break until Wednesday. So if you're at home and you're having trouble, never fear. IT is with you until Wednesday at 5:00. Then they'll be closing and reopening Monday, November 28th. And they say Happy Thanksgiving. And did you unplug it and plug it back in again?
Yeah. Reboot always. Student honors recital. That's happening 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, November 28th. So 29th. We come back on the 28th. The next day is the student recital. It's happening at HCC Southwest College's Stafford Arts Center, not the Stafford Center, which is down the street. They have a fine facility out there in Stafford that HCC runs. So you might want to check that out. 7:30 p.m. We'll have some information in our social media post after the show. And also at Southwest, they've got an art faculty exhibition too.
Yep, that is running through Friday, December 6th at HCC Southwest West Loop Gallery. No registration necessary. Just hop on in, featuring a collection of works from West Loop and Stafford faculty. Go on by and check it out. It's free and fun.
Another thing that's fun. Next week, we're off all week. Yeah, so no, you don't have to take those extra 3 days. We're getting the whole week off. It's quite magical this year. We're excited about that. But HCC all campus and district offices will close the entire week of Thanksgiving to reward our students, faculty, and staff for their hard work through these troubling times we've been over the past few years. Up to the minute, we won't be on the air next week. So you can sleep in. I'm sure
that people will be bereft.
Well, thanks a heck of a lot. Of course they are. They love this show.
They count on you, Todd.
And up to the minute. We keep them. Yeah. Well, it's interchangeable. We got all types of people. Everybody hosts the show. So So that's what it's all about. But no, we won't be on the air tomorrow. So have a great holiday week. Enjoy the time with the family. Make sure you get some great food, which I'm sure everybody will during the holiday break. And another big thing too, spring 2023 registration's underway, Randy, now. Start dates,
5 ways
to learn this year. 5 ways to learn, but it's kind of different because start dates start from December 2022 to April 2023. It's kind of shifting a bit.
I had to think about that because I thought, none of my classes start until January. So for a moment I was like, oh no.
Wait, what's going on?
December? Yes.
No, that is a change. Yeah, it's a big change. And they'll be online.
Yes.
A lot of them will be online and some in person. But 5 ways to learn, 2 are online, 2 are hybrid, 1's in person. And you can register today. Go to hccs.edu/apply. So when we return, you've ever heard of a band called the My Dolls?
No.
They are punk legends. 4 women, started like in the late 70s, early 80s, punk legends in Houston. They will be here on Monday. They're still performing. They've been together for over 40 years.
Wow.
And so they'll be our guest on Monday. I know one of them. I've known her for years. Seen them live before, so we're all excited about that.
I'm excited. I'm punk. Believe it or not, in my 50s, I'm now learning about punk.
Oh, well, these ladies are legends in punk, so you can definitely tune in.
Yeah.
Okay, real quickly, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah. It's a
great film. It's not my favorite from this year so far. My favorite this year has been one that is little talked about called Happening.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that one is great and much needed and topical and current. But look, I loved Everywhere, Everything, All at Once. I get what you're saying. It was a wild ride, but
yeah.
and a little dense at times for sure, but it's a great film. And it's all about the performance of that lead. She's fantastic.
It was she had a great performance. It's just for me, it kind of lost me with the hot dog fingers and part 3. We could have left it at part 2. When it said part 3, I'm like, oh man, no, please let this movie end.
Yeah, you felt like it ended 2 or 3 times, and you're like, we could just end it one time.
I was ready for it to end after part 1, I think so. But anyway, I saw it.
Well, we can all agree that Maverick was a lot of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, Maverick was great. Yeah, that was
great popcorn movie.
And I never even saw the first Top Gun.
Okay, Todd, we have
no
to
interest
talk.
in seeing the first Top Gun.
I saw the first Top Gun at an Air Force base with a bunch of flyboys.
Yeah, well, that's an experience there.
That's the way to do it. But the menu is out now, so people should go out and see that. That's Ralph Fiennes, and it is. It's truly a ride. Disturbing.
Actually, I'm going to try to see that. So, Randy, enjoy your holiday week with the kids and the scouts, and have a great vacation. And we'll see you when we return.
And I hopefully will be defrosted by then.
Hopefully so. Have a good week.
Thanks,
all
guys.
of you, be safe over the holiday week, and have a great time with your family and friends. And we wish you the best from Up to the Minute. We'll see you back on the 28th.